I was born in Philadelphia, even though I'm not an Eagles fan. I was adopted. My adopted father, actually my uncle, was in the Army. I lived in Germany, New Jersey. I've lived in Indiana, Mobile, Alabama, Mississippi. I am Jeffrey Kennedy, one of the assistant chiefs for the Austin Fire Department. I've been a number of different places, but my formative years were in Mobile, Alabama. The history of me getting to the Austin Fire Department began in 1997.
In appreciation, 31 years and 7 months.
But it was a recruiting of William Wade and retired Assistant Chief Flo Solis.
5. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I actually was working in the United States Air Force with William Wade, who just recently retired. And he left the Air Force and got hired with Austin and was recruiting, hey, you got to come and do this, you got to come and do this. So in 1997 is when I was hired and began in September. I chose the Air Force looking for a medical career field.
There are other times when the committees have been appointed later than this.
And I kid you not, I tell this story, I've been telling it for years. As they went down the list of careers and jobs, I didn't like fire at first because they said, hey, it's a medical component. I've been in your presence and didn't even know it was you. Lee and Don have been a package since junior high school. So not only did they go to school together, they worked their whole lives together. That's amazing. For them to retire and have their retirement at the same time is great. Once they exhausted the list and went back through it, he goes, you know, it says here they work every other day. And I was like, I'll take congratulations again. Y'all be good. And really, that's how I chose this career field, I guess, or it chose me. On my desk, there's a picture of my mentor from my first assignment in the Air Force. And he was the one that basically pulled me aside one day and told me I had all the talent, but I was doing it the wrong way.
And that's the problem with all this.
And he and his wife were big inspiration for me.
Both have different pros and cons, and you should be mindful on how you do it.
Okay, I'm going to talk in 80s vernacular, but he said, be the man. Is there a shift going that way? Have you heard anything? There should be no reason why, in that sense that she was guiding my brother and I, that if other people weren't stepping up, someone needs to.
So I'll kind of move along fairly quickly given our time constraint.
My parents divorced, and then probably the way I'm understanding it, maybe 6 months later, I witnessed my mother's murder.
That's the kind of thing that seems to result in accidents and problems.
And so from there, my uncle and his wife adopted me. And so that's kind of been my experience. There's no doubt. I was 4 years old when that happened. So having been able to experience the world, different religions, cultures, I think, yeah, that's made me who I am. I was very fortunate early in my career to be part of what they call a Black World assignment. And basically that's the military assignment that is not necessarily on the books, but is on the books. That was with the F-117 fighter, or the stealth bomber. I was on the back end of that program, but it was one of those programs where we flew to work and we were sworn to secrecy. I had a top secret clearance because of the mission. And then the security that we were using back then is, man, it was ahead of its time when I look at security today.
On behalf of the Secret Service and our National Threat Assessment Center, thank you for joining.
The one thing that I remember most about that assignment was before we could even go up to the site, they gave us a briefing on it. And at the end, the last slide, all right, they teased us and teased us. We're going to show you a picture of this stealth plane that is radar evading that no one can see. And sure enough, they showed us a picture and all it was a set of wheel chocks and an empty stall, an empty hangar.
The budget bill itself, Senate Bill 1, House Bill 1, the Senate Finance Committee has been meeting.
My role with this is to keep up with what's happening in general.
We've got several hundred bills RFP are on that list.
As a member of the committee, but then for the Austin Fire Department, I am the Intergovernmental Relations Officer representative for the department. He only named, what, 2, 3, probably 20, but this is like 20, 30 pages worth. And all of it geared towards the fire service. And in Austin, we're probably watching 30 ourselves, but I may add more to the list based upon some of the things that he brought up today that aren't on this particular list. For me, it's the Battalion 6, the 4 stations in Battalion 6, which is Special Operations Support Office. It's also our intel unit, which would be the Austin Regional Intelligence Center, and then the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. There's the airport, And then there's Wildfire, which is Battalion 5, those 8 stations now with the battalion realignment, and then their support office. And then there's the civilian side. You're chief of what? Well, I have the opportunity to happen to be the chief of this particular thing, but I'm not the one that makes it run, they do. I will tell you, those are the things that I do, but man, the division chiefs, the BCs, and everyone else in those battalions, everybody wants to be on the trucks, but no one really understands that it's the support in the 8-hour, 40-hour week world that allows the people to be on the trucks to do what they do, the equipment that they have, all the administration that goes behind them being able to do 24/48. It's the 40-hour workers, it's our civilians that support it. It's the whole team effort.